Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now a lot of you may not know the context of this video or this little experiment that I did, but if you guys go check the fan page, you'll notice I posted a picture of The Rock on there from a number of years back before he did his current transformation. And there's comments there, and if you watch this video here and down below, I did a little rant this morning talking about the problems I saw with the eating disorders and body dysmorphia in young men in the community right now, and how upset I was over some of the messages that I get. And we're at a point right now to where I see tons and tons of young men who have such a bad body image disorder, fueled on by the current bodybuilding world, physique world, natural bodybuilding world, and by standards on the internet, that they are genuinely embarrassed to take their shirts off in public if they have a little bit of love handle and they don't have deep abs. A lot of these guys cannot even function sexually with a girl because when they take their shirt off, they're so embarrassed when they're at a perfectly healthy, athletic body fat, which is anything under 20%. Anything under 20% is considered healthy and athletic medically for a male. That they're embarrassed and then they can't perform sexually, or they're too nervous to even have sex with a woman over having a little bit of fat that is in the healthy range because they're not ripped. And so I want to address some of that, because a lot of guys out there, these younger guys, honestly think that if they get into really good shape that they're going to attract more women. And the reality is, occasionally women will hit on you over your physique, but the majority of the time they won't. You're mostly going to attract other men with a nice physique, gay men, not women. But I did a little experiment, and I posted a picture of two well-known physiques in this community, side by side, up on my Facebook, and asked for women or for guys to have their girlfriends or wives come over and pick. And I asked the question of which one is more attractive and which one is more manly. And the pictures I posted were Rob Riches, which a lot of guys think that is a pinnacle of aesthetics, that that's the type of physique they need, is him at contest time, is what will get them girls and that will get them people to admire them. And it's the type of physique that these guys strive towards, what causes a lot of these eating disorders and body dysmorphia that young men have, because they honestly think that that is what's going to be considered attractive. And then I posted a picture of The Rock during one of his bulking periods while he was a WWE wrestler. And I'm going to post those pictures right here for you guys. And I want you guys to think about how the votes went. I had 15 women vote. About half of them were real women, and most of them I actually know personally from different points in my life. And some are married, some are single. They vary in ages, and then about half the guys had a girlfriend or sister or whoever come over, and they gave a vote. Some of these women have never touched a weight in their life. Some of them were very serious lifters, and actually the most serious lifter on there said that she didn't like either one. So how do you guys think the votes went? Now, a lot of the older, more experienced guys already know how this went, but a lot of the younger guys are thinking that a lot of women chose Rob Riches. No, in fact, a lot of the women said he was fucking gross. And that is the general consensus. Any guy who is that lean and ripped, only a handful of women are going to find that attractive. A lot of women are going to say it's revolting or disgusting, or it turns them off. Women don't like striations. Only a tiny, tiny minority do. Now, the way the votes went down, I had 2 women out of the 15 who commented that they voted for the Rob Riches. Incidentally, one of them was underage, so I don't know if we would count her as a real woman or not, but we'll count it for these purposes. And the other one happens to be married to a guy, and he commented when he went and asked her, well, why did you vote that? She said, because he looks more like you than the other guy does. Because this is someone who stays about 8% body fat year-round, who does tons and tons of cardio. This is someone who runs super marathons and does triathlons. So put that into perspective, and so he did point that out. So that's your 2 votes for him. I had 10 women who straight across voted for The Rock. Some of them did not know who he was, by the way. I went and asked them in private, and they actually weren't aware that it was Dwayne Johnson at first. When they cast the vote, they just liked his body more. It was more masculine and sexy to them, without an abdominal in sight. I had 2 women who were undecided. One who is not a lifter, and one who was a very serious lifter who takes her training seriously. And you guys would be surprised how many women who actually lift date guys who don't lift. And I had another serious female lifter, was the split vote, who she said that Rob's body was more attractive, but she found The Rock's body to be more manly. So that's pretty much the way the 15 votes went on that. So for a lot of you guys who are going, well, wait a minute, if I'm lifting to get girls, statistically speaking, you don't ever need to get shredded if you just want a body that women are going to find to be sexy, but you want your training to contribute to that. But the overwhelming majority, and you will find this is true in real life, that The Rock is more appealing. And if you guys notice, a lot of these WWE wrestlers do not have what any of you would call aesthetic physiques. None of them are shredded sick cunts. Yet they have their shirts off on national television for millions and millions of people to see, and they are adored, they are worshipped, and they have tons of hot women chasing after them. There are tons of hot female groupies who want those men and think they have sexy bodies. It's kind of interesting that, you know, you've got the magazine culture and the fitness culture and the online physique culture has pushed people in one direction, but the natural inclination of another direction will just as easily attract or be seen as attractive by tons of hot women. So the question becomes, where should you be putting your efforts if that is your goal? And I'm not saying you should lift for girls. I think that is stupid as hell. But if you're letting yourself get an eating disorder or body dysmorphia over not being ripped, and you don't compete in bodybuilding at a serious level, and it's interfering with your confidence with women, not only do you have a mental illness that you need help for, but your priorities are completely skewed. And on top of that, even if they were equal, even if you took those two pictures and showed them up to 100 women and you got a 50-50 split, which one would be more enjoyable to have? The second one, you're going to get to train in a more fun, more impressive way that other people are going to respect more when they see you train. You're not going to have a restrictive diet. You're never ever going to have to cut down to a diet of nothing but chicken breast, tuna, and lettuce for a few weeks out of every year. You're never going to have to do a contest prep. You're never going to have to develop an eating disorder. You're going to be able to eat a lot more food and a lot more foods that you enjoy while having the second physique. So it's going to give you an overall higher quality of life. So it would still be the better choice if it was a 50-50 split, but the reality is it isn't. And the physique culture has sold a lot of you guys a lie and has given you body image disorders, basically selling you a false image that's actually not true as far as what most people outside of the physique world are going to find attractive. So hopefully a lot of you guys who have these issues and you really get concerned and upset about this, hopefully this is a little bit of a wake-up call to let you know that what you've been sold inside of a very small niche society is actually not true. And if it's actually affecting your self-esteem and your body image, then you probably need to go get professional help for that, and you need to step away from that culture for a bit, because it's actually hurting you, not helping you. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go.